Gentlemen, how's everybody?
Amazing.
And this is the perfect time for us to announce that um, Mel Robb has been cast as the what do they call it? No. What do they call it? The MCU the fifth rollout. He will be cast as Tony Stark.
Phase 3, the Black Avenger. He's the Black Avenger.
Right, he is the new
Literally,
Iron
the Black
Man. He is
Avenger.
the new Iron Man in the fifth phase. That's what they call it, phase 5. See there?
There he goes.
See,
I'm just saying.
Y'all know I've been off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you got a whole lot of your gun is cocked already. I know it is.
Sleeping bear.
Right.
I cannot be lying for what I say tonight because I got a concussion.
I already got a letter from management that I can't have this now, or I'm going to be suspended from the anniversary show again.
Production team, would you do me a favor and send me the YouTube live link in a text, please, for some people that I'd like to share the show with. How y'all doing, man? How's everybody?
Good. Now, you got all demanding since you've been a host.
yeah, he's like YouTube, teams and this.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what truth is, I watch shows that don't have a support system like we do, so I believe in, taking
I've seen those
advantage of
shows.
it,
Yeah.
You do those shows.
Yeah.
Robert, put the glass down right now. Put the glass down right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert
Just
Hammond,
saying.
aka the Wheezing Puppy.
I'm just saying. It's.
Put it down, Rob.
I haven't started tonight.
Hey, man, glad to see you all, man. Everybody that's watching, as always, every week we ask you if you would copy the link, paste it into your social media, as opposed to sharing it. Paste it into your social media, and as always, we appreciate you guys rocking with us the way you do.
Man, Mel, you got your fan club talking about you tonight. That's awesome, brother.
Oh, they miss Mel.
They miss
Glad
Mel.
Mel is back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they supposed to.
That's
to
right.
Well, he had a little hitch in his giddy up for just a hot second, but that's all.
Do a Stevie Wonder for us, Mel.
Do it.
Do a what?
I promise y'all don't want this smoke tonight.
What did Rob say? What did Robert say?
Promise you.
Stevie Wonder. Robert is coming out.
Promise you.
He's coming out jabbing tonight, Robert. I ain't gonna mess with you.
You know,
Hey,
I love Mel.
We're honored, man. We're honored, pleased, as always, to have gentlemen with much to share and much to offer be willing to join us in the cave tonight. Production team, please introduce our illustrious guest, Dave. Bring him in.
He's got his brown liquor and a cigar. Dave Maxx, the stepper. That brother that's always looking away from the camera. Look at that, lounging in the leather couch. He is the world champ of the trio steppers. But don't get it twisted. You see him in a suit now, but roll up on him if you want to. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dave Maxx.
Oh man.
Wow.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I can't wait to rewind that later and watch it. Gotta show that to my mama.
I thought we were gonna break out into a dance.
Like I said, you can tell that the production team likes the guest.
Hey,
They put extra effort into his intro.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm more than impressed behind that one.
Damn, I didn't even give him those pictures, Dave. I was like,
Wait, that's what I was like. What?
They did research and everything.
Right.
Hey,
we gotta make
like,
sure.
hey, I don't even remember taking that picture. What are you
I know. They was like, is that me? Wait a minute.
Hey, man, we're super glad, man, to have you with us, man. I'm a little threatened by your swag. I I like to think, these are some swaggerlicious brothers, that hold down the live from the cave, and you coming in with all this flavor,
I know. And your
I'm
old background.
already thinking we
His
can't
old
have you back.
background. Look at his old background.
Look at the background.
Hey, Glenn, I'm already thinking we can't have Dave back. We can't have him back.
Well, you notice he's strategically positioned in front of your picture.
That's right. We can't see Sean.
You can't see you. So Dave already making some plans. That's foreshadowing. That's what we call it.
That's a foreshadowing. Hey, you about to lose your job.
You go get the text, Sean. We gonna see you in the green room after.
Hey, I've been fired from better places. Hey man, hey Dave, so great to meet you, man.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely, man. Take about 45 seconds, man, and tell everybody watching about yourself, what you do, where you're located, if you're a local boy to Chicago, if you're somewhere else. Give us the skinny in about 45 seconds.
First, I had to give honor to the ancestors for allowing us to gather and fellowship in such a place. It's always an honor to sit among brothers and be in a position where we can celebrate Black excellence and have conversations and have our voices heard when often people say we don't have nothing to say. So first and foremost, thank you for the honor. I'm always glad to be of service, and I'm just happy to be here. Chicago brother, born and bred, Inglewood, stand up. And
everybody else get down.
And just happy to be here. Known as the dance doctor, but that's just one facet of my life. I love internet radio. I love relationships and helping Black people move forward and getting rid of that I'm not good enough mindset.
Hey man, we already know you're gonna fit right in, because all that is all that we love. That's one of the reasons that we do this show, man, is because we know the dialogue is so needed. And even the difficult dialogue is needed, and that's the dialogue between, the men and women, and the different dysfunction, man, that we don't know we have, might be aware that we have, but we can't figure out a way to get control of it. So, we all love those conversations, man. So we expect you to fit right on in, and we're glad to have you, man. And what size is that shirt?
Brother, this was actually made on me.
Oh, it's custom too.
So my daughter brought these back from Nigeria. We have a tailor out there who takes care of these for us.
Oh, hey man, well, it's wonderful. That's always the answer when you ask somebody what size is that. It ain't your size. Hey man, we would be remiss if we didn't take a minute to welcome my dear brother back, Mel Rob, after a few weeks off. He had a fender bender and suffered a concussion, and had to take care of his eyes and headaches and things like that. And the doctors, didn't want him looking into screens and devices, and most importantly, didn't want him looking at Glenn for more than 30 minutes at a time, because that would stress him out. And so
they said I had a previous condition from looking at Glenn all the time. That made me
John, I can't see nothing but the top hat in that picture, brother. That's all it is.
Hey, welcome back, Mel. Welcome back.
Glenn,
Glad to have you, brother.
Mel said you was already driving his insurance premiums up just by So he had
Mel
to
got blinded. Got blinded by your job as a host. That's why he was blinded. He was listening to you. He was listening to a replay of the show.
Hey man, I know. I'm like,
abruptly was like, "What the hell is that?" And then he got rear-ended. That's how he told me. He didn't want to share that information. Hey, that's what really happened.
So the truth comes out.
The truth really comes out.
I know I'm like an NFL kicker, man. I'm only, my job is only safe week to week.
You more like a punter, actually, Sean. Kickers have better job security. You like a punter. Like, what
are we talking about tonight, fellas?
Right.
What are we talking about tonight?
See, that's why we have the voice of reason back. Because he wants to be able to guide us back to where we need to be going.
John, why don't you punt to the start of the show?
Hey man, I know we didn't intend. That was good, Glenn. I know we didn't intend to do an entire show on relationships, and we figured out in the green room that based on what we're going to talk about, we're probably going to make a whole lot of enemies tonight. And I just want to go on record as saying that this is shit Rob wanted to talk about.
That's right. That was my idea. That is my.
I know I have a record for being an angry dude on the show. Like
I had therapy for the last 2 days. I am ready. Let's do it.
That explains a lot.
Hey, Dave, they make me out. The women viewership make me out to be the president of Women Haters Club, like on Real Rascals.
You are kind of like
really
the Woman Haters Club.
Well, son, you got to come out official if you're going to do it, brother. You got to come out official.
What'd you say, Dave?
You're going to come out. You got to come out official.
Right. Thanks, man. There it is. I need Dickie to fight for me. Remember Dickie with the apple cap? Wasn't that his name? Dickie, little mean little dude. Hey, man, I saw something before I let Robert's topics totally trash the show.
It's all right.
I saw a post, man, and to me it spoke to a couple of different things. It was a post by Mary J. Blige. Not a post by her, but somebody was paraphrasing something that she said. And she basically said that men weren't capable of being faithful because she had never, ever met a faithful man. And so, there were two things particularly wrong with that. The first thing is that celebrities, I believe, have a responsibility to not be reckless with their audience and their voice, because just who they are, people are gonna rally behind what they say. It could be the dumbest shit ever, and because you like seeing Mary, do a thing she said, and you think it's correct. That's why I was so angry during the time with the OJ trial. I'm not saying that he did or didn't, but I didn't like celebrities coming out and saying he's a killer, he did it, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless you were watching it from a van across the street, you really don't know if he did it or not. And you're using your celebrity to drive a narrative that you can't really prove is real, no matter how strong you feel about it. And so I almost feel like you're misusing your celebrity and your power in those moments. The second part that really bugged me, man, is that I wish that we could get past describing our experiences as a universal. When you think of all the men in the world, I'm sure Mary ain't dated all of them. She ain't dated close to them. And it's unfortunate that the men that she has been in entanglements or otherwise with have left her feeling that. But you can't say all men do this or all men don't do that or all, because we certainly don't have that liberty in describing women with a universal affirmative. And so that kind of bugged me, man, that celebrities have this incredible voice that they can do so much with, but they, in my opinion, they kind of can be reckless with it. Dave, as our illustrious guest, man, I'm going to let you jump in here first, man, and kind of, if you want to unpack both of those, the reality that celebrities, I feel, should have a responsibility to the way they share their perspective, and then two, you can't with that voice try to make universal affirmatives that don't exist. So
I think first and foremost, one of the things that we miss is that celebrities are just regular people. More often, they're people who've experienced more trauma than us, and trauma is something that we as Black people haven't had the opportunity to really wrap our heads around. The whole idea of mental therapy and mental health and the issues that affect us aren't things that we've been taught to look at. So I think one of the things we have to start doing is understanding that celebrities are popular people, but the reality is they're living the same lives we are, just with higher paychecks.
Right, and that's why I would challenge the idea of more trauma. I think their trauma may have some nuances that the common man doesn't have based on celebrity. But you know, heartbreak is heartbreak. Being cheated on is being cheated
Right.
on. Being lied to is being lied to. Now there may be a dynamic of self perception that makes you think you should be above those things. You know, like when the stories of Jay supposedly cheating on Beyonce were going around, and you have to go, well, damn, I'm Beyonce. You know, how would this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? You have to wonder if there is a dynamic like that exists that would
I
separate
don't.
them from
I
each
really don't know if that dynamic exists because most celebrities realize that they are and are going to be exploited on a larger scale. Number one, if you spend enough time with them, a lot of them are really insecure people.
Yeah. Do you think they're made to be insecure?
I think they're put in positions where they don't have the opportunity to be secure because they're constantly judged on the next thing that they do.
And not only that, and I'm gonna ask Mel to jump in here because of his exposure to that level of people. But I think also that being a celebrity can numb you in a sense that um, you don't think that you deserve to be looked at that way. You might think you operate above that, and it'll give you a false kind of delusional sense of self worth. And then when you do get brought down, it might be a harder fall for you. Because remember, they're celebrities because everybody bestows all this love on them, all this love. And then when all of a sudden they treat you like you ain't shit, that could be a hard kind of thing to process. Mel, what do you think, man? Don't be mean, man. We know you brought the Ginsu's. We know you ready to open some stitches on some people.
So I feel a few ways, right? It's I am of the civil liberty that I don't say we can't tell people what they can and cannot do. She can say whatever she wants. That don't mean it's right, but she can say whatever she wants. But I also understand that people speak from their limited experiences, and everybody doesn't have the team around them, the experiences, or the wherewithal not to make general statements. And if you are speaking from the only thing that you have experienced, then ultimately that is your reality. So I'm not mad at her for what she said, if she even said it, because from what I saw, it was somebody else paraphrasing what she said. I never saw that Mary said it at all.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was going to question too. Did she really say it?
Right.
yeah, but whoever put it out there, whoever said it, if that is their reality, I'm more concerned with not the fact that they said it, but what type of environment are you in where this is the only experience that you've had? Because there are some people that have only been around certain things. If you grew up in an environment with violent drunk people, you don't know that Sean is a happy drunk. You know what I mean? You've only been around the violent drunk people, right? Um, it's
John is a
common.
violent drug. What are you talking about? He's a violent drug. He came in taking over the sheriff.
It's a
But he
common
says he's
practice.
been drinking tonight.
It's a common practice for people to speak in absolutes. Again, it doesn't make them right, but it's more so for me, where exactly are they coming from, and what experiences have they had that has skewed their opinions so much that they think that this is all that there is. Like, you need a hug and some counseling,
And
because
I get
it's
that,
tough.
and I think that you are accurate. I also think though that just like you have experienced unique things, you have the wherewithal to know they aren't universally defining, even though you haven't lived through them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just know that, okay, so these are the experiences you've had, but you are well read enough, or been exposed to enough people to
And
know that
everybody ain't got that either, though, bro.
that's what I was gonna say. So it's
Yeah.
unfortunate though. Then it's unfortunate that somebody that doesn't have that can speak to the masses on that level because, like I said, celebrity is a really really unique thing, and people rock behind celebrities. Don't have to know anything about them, and they get this voice, and people just because they're fans, they rock with them. I watched Busta Rhymes not long ago on stage, ranting about the masks and all of that stuff. And for me, I thought he looked like an idiot. Then he turned around and I saw him in another interview, and these are things that he said. Nobody was paraphrasing him, and he said he won't be friends with somebody that don't answer the phone when he calls. Like, you can't be my friend if I can call your phone and you don't answer the phone. We can't be friends. And I was like, well, how dumb is that? Like, people don't have stuff to do. Like, people ain't in meetings or in a funeral or something. Oh, it's Buster. I'm sorry, it's my mama's funeral, but I got to pick up the phone because it's Buster. So for me, it is one of those things. For me, it might just be one of those things that rubs me. But I hate when I feel like celebrities are misusing the power of their voice. And like Mel said, some of it is connected, I hate to say it, to their level of intelligence, and their level of being well read. But it's still kind of Robert, you want to unmute and jump in?
Man, I'm still in amazement of Dave and Mel's background. The next show I'm going to have me one. I just want y'all to know. But because I'm feeling some kind of way.
That's what you got, huh? That's what you got on that.
So here's the thing about Mary. Let me go back. But
Dave, this is every week, Dave. This is every week.
No, this is the Africa thing. I know Dave.
Dave, slide down and cover up Robert's picture.
Yeah, it's the whole.
I'm still tripping on the mic.
Man, that's all right. Don't hate.
This is like week 13 with that mic, Dave.
Don't hate.
We just
Y'all don't hate on my mic, man. I gotta be in the room. Y'all gotta hear me. I got some shit to say. That's really what it is, damn it. So
we hear you, Robert. That's one thing.
So here's the thing about Mary J.
Oh, wait.
I don't think she said any of those things. I think somebody paraphrases, as Mel said. And they took sound bites that made sense. I cannot believe a woman like Mary J has experienced totally, bad relationships. She is from, I think it's New York, New Jersey, or somewhere. But guys, we got to believe that she's had some good relationships.
Well, let's just say hypothetically that she didn't say it, and somebody is paraphrasing. We also can say that she has had a number of very public, very bad relationships, which makes her primed to paraphrase incorrectly, knowing that it would kind of line up with what her history has shown. She's had some very dysfunctional relationships.
She did, and I think I told you guys I was at Jazzin' at the Gardens in Miami, and she stopped the show to kind of talk about her last marriage and relationships and stuff like that. And I don't know about you, but I like the Mary when she's going through some stuff, because my life. I like that piece of it, but I have to believe that.
That ain't fair, Robert, that you enjoy her when she getting dragged by life.
Man, I'm just saying, dog. She actually, you can poll people. Mary is better when she's gone through some stuff. I'm just saying.
But you know what? It is that we're in a crazy place that we can celebrate the pain that somebody's in.
That's what I'm saying, Dave.
I mean, when we talk about celebrities, we're talking about people who are insecure, who are expecting to be exploited, but now people want to see them exploited more, so they can join in from their position of pain.
Like, damn, I hope she hurting so she can put out a dope album.
Right.
Yeah.
What does that say about where we are mentally?
Yeah, I hate the way we drag each other, man. Especially celebrities of color. I hate the way we drag each other that way. Hey, man, let's move on.
Thank you for saving me. Go ahead.
No, because I'm getting ready to unsave you, because this is.
Hey, Sean, I had something to say. Thank you for joining me. It only took like 30 minutes to get through the
I was
thing.
taking instruction from somewhere else,
And I wanted to answer that other question too. Go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry.
The boss was slapping me in the back of the head.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, no, really quickly, I can do mine in like 2 minutes. First of all, I don't believe she said it. I think it was paraphrased, like Robert said, or Mel alluded to. And I think that's somebody who has their own issues. I'm like, at some point, and I always say this, but when you get to like 40, 50, and you haven't had a good relationship, that's on you. That's your fault. That's your choices. That's your bad choices. Be an adult and own up to it, and stop talking about, oh, it's every man's fault. Because to your point, John, you haven't dated every man, and you probably got this little narrow little list of men that you dated.
It ain't even been that many. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, feel like it's been
right.
a lot, but ain't even
So
been that
you
many.
date 3 men and you call that a bad relationship experience for your life. So I think that's part of it, but I don't think she said it either. I think that was just somebody taking a paraphrase and based off the My Life album and the divorce and the other relationship that was public. It's only really been 2 public relationships in 20 some years that we know of. We don't know nothing about who she dated all in between that. So we just assume that she ain't never found nobody good ever. That's all. I am done.
Thank you for coming for me. Thank you for
Dave,
backing me
Dave,
up,
real
Lynn.
quick,
Appreciate
real
you.
quick. Do it quick so I don't get beat up. Real quick, you have something to say.
Real quick, I think what we have to do, when we look at any person who's complaining about relationships or what's available, we have to look at what they've learned when it comes to relationships. What have they been conditioned to believe? Because if they've been conditioned to see and accept and sometimes desire dysfunction, you're going to draw those types of relationships. The reality is you draw who you are. So if that's the case, what is it that you're exuding that's drawing those things to you?
Yeah, and that's a human condition, not a celebrity-based condition. That's
For
just
sure.
a human condition. So Robert, it's 9:27. You had some questions that you somebody asked you to ask the fellas, and
Yeah.
so I just want to do a mail right now and say the opinions of going. This is not me.
Wow, that's new. Sean
Wow.
actually disclaimer. That's never happened before. You must
Well,
really have brought up some stuff. I
I'm
missed
not
it
in
on
the
the
mood for hate mail, Glenn, and being kicked out of rooms and stuff.
Well, they usually, when they hate you, they send me the mail. I don't know how I
I
get
love
blamed
that
for
too,
you.
man. I love that.
You like that friend that don't nobody want to talk to, Sean, and you try to talk to her friend, and she's like, he's friends with Sean, girl. Don't mess with him. He messed with Sean Mason. You don't talk to him. That's you, Sean, when it comes to the show.
So, Robert, I'm going
Yes.
to ask this question for you. I just want you to own it.
I own it.
The question that Robert posed, that was actually asked of him, was
Thank
why
you.
can't men be honest about not wanting monogamy? Why can't men be honest about not wanting monogamy? Now, if you've been watching
Why
the
can't
show,
women be okay with it when why can't women be honest about not wanting men to not be monogamous?
well, if you've been watching the show at all, I get a little antsy with stuff that's put in the lap of any gender that I think is more about human frailty than gender specific behavior, and so you end up hearing the voice of a hurt person that has bastardized the other side, and that's not really fair, So my first thought was that's a woman who was, lied to about what he was doing, and now that's a man. Right? Why can't men be honest? A man? But there are some men going, why can't women do the same thing based on what they experience? So
I'm willing to bet that particular woman was told on the front end what he wanted and didn't want. She just believed that she could convince him to be something else.
Go ahead, bro. Go on. See.
Well, Dave, I will
Because
say
most
that
men, if we think about, I'm not sure who's married or what have you, but most of us in our dating lives or our single lives told women on the front end what we wanted to do or didn't want to do.
Yep.
Now, maybe you wasn't listening that day because the bells was ringing and the Disney song was on. But the reality is,
Women have special relationship ears that they listen with. They do. It's like a hearing aid. You turn up your hearing aid or you turn it down when you don't want to hear nothing. Like they do. Your grandpa be listening, but he turned down his hearing aid so you don't have to hear me. But women turn down that little gift in them that lets them actually listen for understanding when it comes to what they want. That's what happened.
well, I don't.
John told me to say that, by the way. He's giving me my lines. He's texting me my lines, but that's from Sean Mason. That was a quote.
I don't believe in universal affirmatives, but I do believe that there can be some disproportionate behaviors, and I do believe that what Dave described probably exists in a disproportionate way. I think men will more often than women be very candid about what they want and don't want, and then the woman decide that she has the ability to change his mind, and I think that's the same kind of mentality that you see. I've often wondered why the guys that are known dogs still get the girl. And I think that it's because women are wired a bit differently. They want to be the one that pulls you out of the foolishness that you're doing. And a lot of times men don't want to be pulled out of the foolishness. That's what they want to do. And they're honest with you at the beginning, and they say, hey, I'm gonna be good to you. I'm gonna love on you. I'm gonna do A, B, or C. But in terms of me being a one woman man, that's not really what I want.
So, can we
Mel was gonna say. Mel, what were you gonna say?
go ahead, Mel? Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say
Mel,
nothing.
Well,
I ain't
please
got a
say
dog in
something
this
while I
fight.
turn the
I'm
heat
good.
down. Please say something. Robert, say something.
Come on, Mel. Give us something.
Nah,
You good?
I'm good.
All right, let me jump in. I think that when we are honest with women, they want to believe something different. From my perspective, in the past, before I was last married, I told people this is what I want. Yeah, go ahead.
That's all right.
Whatever.
That's the way you said it, man. Before I was last
I
married. Like,
I know, whatever. I went on and said, "Hey, this is what I want. This is the type of relationship I want. If you're down with that, we can move forward." Because of the fact, for me, I said, "Hey, I just got out of something. It didn't work out the way I wanted. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna date you. I'm dating somebody else, and all of that sort of stuff. If you're down with that piece of it, we can move forward."
I will jump in here.
Okay, good. See how I opened that up for you, bro?
Thank you, Robert, with your amazingly loud microphone that I have to
I've
keep
been
turning.
trying to turn this damn thing down. I just want you to know.
all you gotta do is turn it away from you. Do something. Put it in your pocket. Go. Come on, Mel.
Hell, put it in
Go put it in the basement, and then we'll hear you
yeah.
normally.
Well, I
Put it
am in the
outside.
basement. I'm in
Put
the
it
cave.
outside.
Let me jump in here though. So what I think often happens in relationships, and I've said this on the show before. I believe that relationships fail, whether it be romantic, friendship, business, or otherwise. Relationships fail because of poor communication and unmet expectations. And a lot of times the other party doesn't know what the expectations are. In other words, we haven't clearly communicated what it is that we want or we're looking for. In the event that people are upfront in the very beginning about their relationship desires or needs or willingness, even right in the beginning, and it's fine. So, hey, I just got out of something, you just got out of something. I ain't looking for nothing major, right? And then there's the investment of time spent, dates, and sharing and caring, and all of these things, where for one person, and possibly both of them, but for one person, it evolves to something else. They have more feelings than they intended to have in the beginning, whatever, they caught feelings instead of flights, whatever it was. They became invested in the relationship, and they wanted to change the contract. Here was the contract that was presented at the beginning of it. Now I've had a certain amount of time on the job. I want to change my job description and my pay. And it is up to the employer to figure out, all right, do I want to change your position and increase your pay? Or is it, I told you I only had part-time available, dog. Like, there's nothing else here for you. Right. And so the person starts to think possibly that they've spent so much time in there. Oh, it could change. Oh, I could earn my way. Oh, it could become something else. And when it never does, they're extremely disappointed and they blame the other person when they knew from the beginning this is what it was. So, a person has to be mature enough to say, hey, all right, I've had this experience. It wasn't what I anticipated. It changed into something else, but I'm not getting the reciprocity to that I deserve or desire. So what do I do now? Do I stick it out and hopefully it changes? And am I okay with the fact that it might not change? Or do I say, all right, I've had enough then, and I need to break ties for this moment and move in a different direction?
I think that's excellent, Mel. I think it's excellent. I think it's accurate. And if you don't mind, I think I would also add to that that there are times when it doesn't happen in the midst of the growth of the dynamic like you described, but it happens at the very beginning. And even though that person states what they want, the other person decides, I'm gonna wear you down. I'm gonna
Right.
hang in here long enough. I'm gonna change your perspective.
Right. I don't think people are upfront about it sometimes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people aren't upfront about what they
Yeah,
want.
they take what you say and say that they get it,
Right.
and say that they accept it, but then they go right into what they think they need to do to
It's
change.
like putting it through a strainer. It's like you put something through a strainer, and what comes out, what you want to keep.
Yep.
So they strain that conversation enough to hear the little piece that, oh yeah, love would be wonderful and marriage would be wonderful. Okay, he wants to get married. Let me just work toward that part of it. Let me grab that nugget and work toward that. I didn't hear any other stuff. Like I've been married 3 times and I ain't ready to do this in the next 5 years. Not picking on you, Rob. Really.
I was about to say something, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I wasn't picking on you. They don't hear that part. They only hear marriage. He wants marriage. So here I am. Let me lay it out for him. 6 months later, why aren't we getting married?
Come on, Dave.
But I think unfortunately one of the problems with that is, and I think everything that Mel said was correct, but I think the problem is a lot of times we're having relationship actions prior to those conversations. So it's become emotional before there's an explanation of what this relationship is or is not. Before the job description comes out, before the expectation is even put on the table, we already playing adult games. And it's too late because we didn't make wise decisions and sit down somewhere and figure it out before we got too involved.
And I would say I don't like to gender specify, and people will be surprised that this is a time that I'm going to gender specify and put it in the lap of men more than women. But I think that in some respects, men are a lot more guilty. So women may see what they want, hear that you don't want it, and decide that they can show you enough good that you somehow decide you want it. Men will fake friendship from the outset, just to stay close enough to you to keep pitching you for a chance to get a shot. And I find that to be one of the most. I've probably had three stories this week from ladies that I know that dealt with men that had embraced friendship only because they were laying.
I don't think a lot of men do that though, Sean.
Oh man, Glenn, I think a lot of men do that, man.
I don't-
A lot of men do that.
But let me validate Sean. I think that it does happen.
Yeah.
Sean, I agree with you that I
It
think it
happens.
does.
I
It
think
does.
it happens a lot.
I don't know that it happens a lot, but there's always that guy that's sitting there, in the cut that's saying, Robert's a good guy, but did you see this about him, or or something like that. So I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. I've got some crazy stories from the lady friends that I know about. Hanging out with guys that claim they know we're just friends, we're not doing anything. They go by to have a cocktail or something, dude go to the bathroom, come out naked. Like, what the hell? And so, and I have multiple ladies that have told me those kinds of stories.
But here's a question about that. Go ahead, Glenn. Were you going to say something, Glenn?
No, well, see, that's just a dude being shady. Like, okay, you need to have like me. I have all my friends are beautiful, so I don't have to worry about that.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So all of my friends are beautiful too. But here's the question though. It really comes down to all of my friends being beautiful, but is there an integrity issue among my friends?
You mean beautiful on the inside? Because some of y'all be lying to y'all friends.
Damn.
He's back.
Hey man, good to see you. Good to see you.
Outside and inside. I'm talking.
Mel is back.
Your friends now, but my friends are beautiful on the outside and inside. Look at them out there.
Yeah.
I see you all. Put the G in there.
I see my friends on the stream, I see CDK and a couple others, that are out there.
Wow.
But
before we move on, what I want to say though is that the men that do that, they're pouring into the attitudes and the stank that we get as guys trying to be noble, because women have encountered these guys, and so you have to work through the residue that these guys have left when you may not have any intention like that at all, but this is what they've been exposed to, and you can't be mad at them for having their guards up based on the fact that they let somebody in, and then that person mismanaged the space that they let them in.
Can we? You
some
said
beautiful women friends, so you won't go goo goo gaga just because you got one friend that's beautiful and you dating below that. So date on an equal level of your friendship. Date beautiful women and have beautiful friends, and you won't have that problem, man. So you go crazy over one woman. See, I'm so clear. There's so much clarity when I don't drink.
let me
Glenn,
put my glasses on.
Glenn,
Let me put my glasses on so I can see stuff. Do we?
You have tapped into your Neanderthal in the last couple of weeks, and I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you're embracing.
It's his new camera.
Man. Yeah, your inner caveman, your inner Neanderthal.
No, I'm just saying, lame. You a lame dude if you got to go push up on your friend and they trust. There's that level of trust that you break, and now they're gonna look at you totally different forever. So I'm saying it's because you get that one beautiful friend that you're just sitting there hoping and wishing that you get a little break in the action and get a chance.
Hey man, I've always had one rule.
With all these women out here, I find that hard to believe.
Go on, Dave. Talk to us, brother. Come on.
I mean, if at some point, just because it's one guy, if we use the example where the guy came out of the bathroom without no clothes on, how did you get at that guy's house anyway?
Well, that's what I'm
Where's
saying.
the
Dave.
assessment
Be
that took
clear
place
now,
on the quality of individual that you have around you? You had to like that kind of dude.
See, I don't
Especially if something happened after he came out, because that wasn't even invited. He didn't do no dance or nothing. He just ran out in his Superman outfit, and you said, "Oh my God, I can't help myself."
I thought we were friends.
Right?
Why did you make it?
Come on, man.
Well, see, I think y'all are treading into some very, very shallow water, and you need to walk softly. Because the reality is, if somebody is your friend and you consider them your friend and you trust the friendship, it's really not strange that you would invite them to your place or they would invite them to yours. It's how you manage that space. Now, I do believe, as somebody who has always had platonic friendships, I do believe that they have to be managed a particular way. They have to be managed with a sensitivity. But I don't think that, to have the man, as Dave described, I don't think to have the man in your crib means, that maybe you shady. Why you got him in your crib? Because y'all friends, like Mel has solid friendships. Maybe somebody wants him to teach them how to make a particular dish. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. I've seen Mel teaching people how to make stuff.
Sean, we've eaten Mel's food too, so I get you there. But I think one of the questions too that came up is about background checks. I don't know if you're going to get to that.
Hey, let's do it.
And Sean, you're a little too hard on me, and it's women do that too. Women hang out in the cut, waiting and hoping to get their opportunity. You don't talk about them, Sean.
Right. You ain't talking about the women that be in my bushes that are trying to, talk to me.
Yeah.
What?
Robert, the women in your bushes work for the FBI. It's a totally different agenda. They're not trying to date you. They're trying to.
But they were trying to date me back in the day. They may not be trying to date me.
Caught up with you, and they hiding in your shrubbery. What? You just blew me, Robert, with that. I don't even know what I was getting ready to say.
I'll help you with the question if you want me to.
Will you? Well, one of your questions that I thought was, gonna get us in trouble. The woman asked, why do men ask, what do you bring to the table? Again, maybe it's me. I hear more women posing the table thing, especially if they're relatively successful women. I hear that coming more from women than men. So that's just my experience, though. Again, I'm not trying to put it out there as universal affirmative, but I don't really hear.
I own the company that makes the tables.
Thank you.
Right. So
Thank you. I manufacture the damn table.
I know how to build the tables. Okay? I know how to build the tables. But if we want to let our guest who is married, cover this, I don't know. But
oh wow. Marriage gets you to the table that Mel made.
I bring the parts. I helped you build the damn table,
And all the
Dave.
parts came from the Hazard Assembly Company. Dave.
Basically, that's kind of like the Acme Assembly Company on the Warner
See,
Brothers.
yeah. So y'all can't talk about me. I brought a married brother to the cave.
Hey, man,
He
we
set
need
you
the
up,
married
Dave, is what
brothers,
it
man.
is.
We need to know what's on the other side.
Well, I have a problem with the question. I mean, if I was still dating and someone asked me what I brought to the table, whatever table we sitting at, the conversation is pretty much over. Because before we got to the table, we should have had some conversation. I should have gotten to know you. You should have gotten to know me. So if you're asking such an insecure question, then I'm not really trying to have any more conversations with you. I've kind of lost
What if that's
interest.
the first question?
Right. What if that's
If that's the
date?
first question, it's a short conversation.
Okay, the third question.
You wouldn't have brought your ass to the table if you didn't
I
know.
wouldn't have come to the table.
Yeah, you wouldn't have come to the table in the first place.
No.
I personally, I'm not a person who entertains the table conversation because I think it's about alignment and it's about people that share the same perspective. I'm cool with people that want to have the table conversation, but the table conversation looks a certain way for me. And if it looks a very different way, then I'm probably no longer interested in you in that moment. A friend of mine that's watching said that, and we talked about this, Robert, as a potential topic for tonight. He said that, somebody asked her what her credit score was.
I wish.
But before we get to that,
But before we go to that, I got a card table. I got a card table, and I'm taking my table, and we leaving.
I wish somebody would ask me my credit score. Why you buying?
But that's like somebody asking you why you single. It's a stupid question.
Yeah. Can we have a parking lot for questions we can't never bring up on the show again? You know how in meetings you have a parking lot. Like, okay, we're gonna answer that later.
Right. Where's my board? My board's over there. Y'all
Yeah,
can't
we
see
need a
the
parking
board,
lot.
but it's over there.
Table questions should never come up again on this show. I'm so damn sick of it.
And anybody that asked you your credit score on the first date, I don't know. That's
If they ask me my
even if the
damn credit
isn't
score,
great,
I'm asking what theirs are.
look at Mel. Come on, Mel. Come on with it.
I'm with the credit score shit. I'm with it. I'm with because
I'm currently 840.
This
Robert,
gives
can you be
me a
serious for a
snapshot
I'm
of
serious.
your
No, I
financial
just mean in
aptitude
general.
and
Just
responsibility.
join us. What you say?
But what if you have a 760 credit score and $20 in the bank? What do you say?
Well, it's not a credit score only situation, right? It's a financial aptitude and stability conversation. So credit score is just a piece of it, right? You could have an amazing credit score because you've been paying all your stuff on time, you know what I mean, but still have an insurmountable debt or whatever. You could still make bad decisions. So I get that part. But it's like people that ask me for a loan. And I'm like, I need some collateral. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't get a loan from the bank and you want a loan from me, I need something. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes me think that you're credit worthy, right?
But
So
I don't think
as
that's
far as
the
the relationship is concerned, if I'm gonna be merging with somebody and doing business with somebody and all that, I'm not saying it's the first thing that I ask. It's definitely something that I want to know. I need to know about your debt. I need to know about your credit score. I need to know about your financial habits, because what you're not going to do is have access to my stuff and run my credit down and my finances down. So I'm all right with the financial company.
Yeah, but you
Well,
could
well,
have
Mel,
this
it sounds
because
like
you
you're
could-
asking the question, but not necessarily for the basis of elimination, but more for understanding how you need to navigate that space with that person.
Which could potentially eliminate them. Yes. I mean,
Right.
Yeah,
it's
but
all
you're
a part
at-
of it. The possibility is there. It's not solely for that.
But you're at dinner with a woman and she's talking about what your credit score is. My credit score is good enough to pay for this damn meal with my
Right.
credit
It's my
card.
credit card.
Yeah, with my credit card.
It's a platinum credit card. You asking me if I have a good credit score?
But
Hey,
I
it
also
might
feel
not be a
this
platinum, Rob, but you
way.
might have one of them Walmart loaded cards, bro. you
A
know what I'm saying?
prepaid, a prepaid.
You might have
You
that.
got a Cricket debit card, Robert?
You know what I'm saying? And nothing against people that do, as long as
No,
you get
no.
the financial education to build
Hey,
yourself back up.
yeah,
Credibility.
I'm
One
good
of
with
my
that.
challenges with that though is that I feel a certain way about things that aren't manageable or fixable or teachable. So what if you encounter somebody that you really dig and that's a space that they just aren't as savvy or as educated or experienced as you are, and you have the ability to get them to the next space.
But that's a different
That
context.
that is
But some people might not see it that way. They go, okay, well you gotta have at least 760 if you're gonna rock with me. You don't have that, I'm gonna get rid of you. They might be at 666 and you spend 12 months with them and they 800. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
they don't know
saying?
what.
So I
Right.
feel like a lot of times when we're so quick to create that list of things that will eliminate somebody for, we also lose the opportunity to better the potential mate. And I started feeling that way when I would hear people with this old dumb cliche in church about being equally yoked. I'm not dating somebody
That's
that's equally yoked.
stupid.
And I would say,
well.
you might be the person that's supposed to grow them in their spirituality. So you're sitting here going, okay, your walk isn't as tight as mine. I can't rock with you. And the divine may have offered this person to you so that you could increase their level of spirituality.
Right.
But you missed the opportunity because you were judging them because you thought they were beneath you. So
Right.
I look at
And if
stuff
Sean, I
like that.
think, Sean, I think at that point, the issue at that point is whether or not we understand what relationships really are, what
Yeah.
marriage really is.
Yeah.
Because now, if we're talking about marriage, we're talking about team building. We're
Yeah.
talking about
Absolutely.
pouring into somebody
Yeah.
and not rubbing our own backs or patting ourselves on the back about the things that we've accomplished. We've agreed to be part of a plan
Yeah.
is going to move this team forward.
And I
But
can
we
be a
have to
team with somebody
understand
that's
what relationships
flawed.
are.
I can be a team with somebody that's flawed or somebody that has some pitfalls or holes or dents.
sure.
Especially if we
Right.
can sit and figure out a way that we can fix those things and we can fix my things and we can elevate to the next level. So I never have been one that use that as a reason to dismiss somebody if it's something that I think is manageable and fixable. Now, if you then try to invest that in them and inject that in them, and that effort is having an adverse effect on you, then you have to look at it differently. But
Right.
from the outset, it's not going to make me go, oh, you got horrible credit. I can't mess with you because
Yeah. If it-
together we can do some stuff if we focus and make it work.
Right. If you're not with somebody that's pouring into you, and equally you're pouring into them, then that's not a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we want perfect people sometimes, or people that are perfect in the way that we value.
Or what we
and
see.
then we see them as maybe we throw them back in the pool when they're not. And I think a lot of times we miss our blessings, man, when we do that. Hey, man, we got 1 minute. I'm being slapped around a lot tonight. I don't want to get in trouble. We got 1 minute. Anybody want to share
What's
anything,
new?
man, in the last 60 seconds that can't turn into 180 seconds like it does?
Well, let's
Man,
let
I'm
Dave
just
or
happy to be here
somebody
with
else
y'all,
talk.
bro. Happy to be back. Scary situation with the accident and concussion, but on the mend and recovering. This is my first day of really doing screens at all with the special glasses, and I'm glad I reserved some of this time here, and I'm going right to bed when this is over.
Hey, man, well, we missed you, man. It's not the same when you're not here. We glad
Man,
that you,
we need the
were
voice
able
of
to,
reason, brother. I'm just gonna
to
say.
be with us, man. I gotta take if you don't mind, I want to take a special moment myself. I lost my uncle last Friday.
I'm sorry,
Went out
man.
to see him, man. He was in Hines VA. He wasn't doing good. He was in hospice, but didn't think he was gonna leave that soon, man. I left there at 7:15. By 10:05, he was gone. So I spent like 4 hours with him, and that's why this week has been rushed for me because I've been trying to help my family navigate that space and get everything ready for his Wednesday funeral. So rest in heaven, my uncle Melvin Barksdale, aka Pratt. aka Mule. Hey man, love y'all. Dave, thanks so much, man, for being here, man.
Glad to be here.
I can't wait to have you back, man. I think you got a lot of stuff to share, and
Stick around
I can't
with
wait
us,
for
Dave.
round 2. And don't leave, man. Meet us back in the green room.
Okay.
Everybody watching, thank you so much for rocking with us. We'll catch y'all next week, same time, same channel, 9 p.m. live from the cave.
Left out at home for COVID? Join us, Indie TV, where you will see the talk shows, movies, drama, action, and comedy. Be the first and see it first. Sign up now for free at Indie TV.